Hello and welcome to the second episode of the Consistency Club podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in. Today we're going to be discussing the yo-yo cycle and how you can break it. Now, to delve into that and set the foundation for the conversation, what I mean by yo-yo cycle is those times in your life where, you've turned on that we're going to for the purpose of this conversation, let's talk fat loss, okay? You've decided you want to lose some fat. You've committed, you started exercising, you're eating less food, you're losing weight. Okay, you're on this downward trajectory, everything's good. You crash and burn, something comes up in life, could be work event, could be a holiday, anything, right? Crash and burn, put on all the weight again, and you end up back to where you were, if not the peak's a little bit higher than last time. That is the yo-yo cycle, the roller coaster that so many people go through year in, year out, decade in, decade out. And it is detrimental to your health and absolutely fundamentally must be broken. I cannot stress that enough. I'm going to get close to the microphone and shout down it. Like, it's so bad, and deep down rooted within that process are habitual changes you have to make in yourself, your mindset, and your lifestyle. It's not about losing the weight, it starts here, and your perception of how it's to be done, the system that's built around it, and a full complex understanding around how it's going to be achieved, the timeline against it. There's some intricacies that come into play when you have to consider how you're going to achieve success in terms of your health, whatever way you want to go. Could be muscle growth, could be improved performance, whatever it may be. And obviously, we're called the Consistency Club because without consistency behind any of these actions that you're going to install in your life to help you reach that goal, you have nothing. Okay, it's built on sand foundations. So let's delve into it. First and foremost, there's three main topics that I want to discuss, or not so much topics, tactics that I want to discuss of how you can make sure when you enter the next stage of you wanting to prioritize your health and finally get on top of, be it your weight, be it your performance, whatever it may be. What are the three things you can do to ensure you don't fall foul of that yo-yo cycle again? And the first thing we're going to touch on is easing yourself in. Okay, now we're going to obviously develop that a little bit further, but what I mean by that is having a system in place that builds you into the program, builds you into the timeline sequentially. All right, so what so many people tend to do is get to the point, motivation's really high, they're frustrated, they don't like themselves, they're sick of their situation, and they go from doing nothing to training 4, 5, 6 times a week in a gym or running or whatever it may be. They also go from just eating what they want to the Atkins diet, the 5-2, to keto, to whatever different diet it may be that you find on the internet that you think that's a good idea for me to try. And some of them, like, they're going to yield good results. But often when you do that, there's no actual thought process or structure around, okay, how many calories was I consuming previously? What were the macro and micronutrient breakdown of those calories? And by doing X, Y, Z, what is that going to leave me on afterwards? So I think you'll probably find, let's say in certain situation, male in his 40s to 50s, wants to lose 10 kg of body weight, was eating 2,500 calories previously, but it was made up of, food on the go. They may get a meal deal for lunch, skip breakfast, don't think they actually eat that much. When you explore it a little bit further, they're snacking all day, they're snacking like chocolate in the evening in front of the TV, they have dessert every night usually, their tea portions are absolutely massive, and their tea sources, if they're not takeaways or they're not going out for food, are pretty suboptimal, oven based or cooking for the family, but it's lasagna and things like this. So you go from that. Let's say they go, right, I'm going keto. Okay, you can go keto, but if you take all the carbs out of your current diet as we see it right now, you'll probably be left with 1,200 calories, if that. Okay, so you're going to remove all the carbs. Are you going to supplement by increasing fats with healthy avocados, with macadamia nuts, cashew nuts, walnuts, with chia seeds, flax seeds? Are you going to increase your protein levels? be it through shakes or increasing the amount of fish or chicken meat that you eat, the likelihood is not because there's not the knowledge and understanding of how you're doing it. Equally, you don't even know where you were. I just gave the example. You don't even know you're eating 2,500 calories before. So there's a step that is skipped there almost. So when you do that, you'll probably cut your calories down by 500-600 calories, maybe more. What that means is you're going to go, like, your body's going to respond quickly. You're going to lose a lot of weight very, very quickly. That's going to give the false perception that you're on the right path. Okay, you stay on that path, you will crash and burn. Your motivation will dip, your energy levels will go through the floor, your sleep quality will decrease, your testosterone levels will reduce. You are going to be suboptimal. You'll have brain fog, your stress resilience will go down. You as an individual will be worse off. Probably even go slightly catabolic if you extended that over the year period. Yes, you won't have as much fat on you, but you'll also slow down your metabolism as you do that. So as soon as you reintroduce those foods and you change your nutritional habits again, all of that weight plus more is going to flood back on. So let's go back to the system. First of all, when you're systemizing something, you have to understand your lifestyle. That's what we are huge on inside the Consistency Club. As I said, we work one-on-one with people to actually map out this process for them. A done-for-you strategy that takes into account them, their genetics, their lifestyle, the time they have available, the foods they like. I could go on. Now, if you're not going to do that yourself, and it can be done, but if you're not going to do that yourself, you're not going to set yourself up for success. So the first thing is assess your lifestyle. Take a couple of weeks to track food, understand what you're eating previously, and make educated decisions. Now, in terms of nutrition, of course, I want to provide some free value on this podcast. What I would suggest is reduce by 10%. So work out your calories, reduce those by 10%, and introduce an exercise program. Ease yourself into the exercise program. Don't go from doing nothing to 6 days a week. Start with 3 days a week. Mixture of resistance training and cardio work. That will be enough to push the ball and get that ball rolling down the hill. Then, through the system that is implemented, you start to build momentum. You can take another 10% off your calories as soon as the weight stalls. You can add in a little bit more expenditure. Maybe you do a 4th day, you increase the duration of your sessions, the length of a run, the heart rate zones that you're experiencing or working through in a spin cycle, whatever it may be. And that will continue the process for you. You have room to move. You have room for progress because you've left room, it's systemized, you know exactly the roadmap of where you are going. That's tip 1 for breaking the yo-yo cycle. Tip 2, of course, set a goal is should have gone first, to be honest with you. Set a goal in mind, be really granular with that goal, and understand fully what your why is. And that why will hold you accountable in the times where your motivation wanes. People often get, we see this in the January rush. Gyms pack out, right? It's probably busy till February, midway through February. So we're talking 4 to 6 weeks, done. People crash and burn. There's no system. There's no structure. They've lost sight of their goal, and that goal doesn't hold them accountable enough for them to want to carry on with everything that they're supposed to be doing. So set a goal, get really granular with that goal. And a tactic that I like to use with some of our clients, write it down in the notes section of your phone. A4 paper if you want to, but I like to do it on your phone. Screenshot it and set it as your lock screen saver on your phone. Every day when you pick up your phone, the first thing you're going to see in the morning is that goal you wrote down. That contract you signed with yourself to say, this is what I'm doing and why. Remembering your why, reflecting on your why, and having it at the forefront at all times is going to serve you when motivation doesn't. You, of course, have to exercise some discipline, but it will help with that process. So become granular with the goal as too. Thirdly, and this is kind of ties in, to be honest with you, with point number 1. And I'm going to keep this to 3 points only, and I could go on to probably double that. But 1, 2, 3, it's nice and simple. You could take these away and you can implement them. Third one's flexibility. What can be so damaging is people go from consumption to abstinence. and I'm talking food now, and we'll get to training shortly, but let's just break it down to nutrition. People go from consumption to abstinence. This could be alcohol, and I see that so often. This could also be chocolate. This could be sweets. This could be crisps. Whatever your kryptonite is, go straight to abstinence. Just stop consuming it altogether. Okay, the reason why that is dangerous is unless you are going to commit to yourself that you are leading a new lifestyle, you're going to lead that lifestyle for the rest of your life. What is the value in taking that, like something you enjoy, something that when you reflect on, you want to be part of your life long term, you're just motivated enough right now to sacrifice it short term. When you reflect on it, you are learning nothing through stripping it out, other than the fact that when you strip it out, you feel better, you look better, you're losing weight. I could tell you that before. You could tell yourself that before. So you're learning nothing on how to actually manage fitting these things into your lifestyle. Restriction is better than abstinence. I say it time and time again inside the Consistency Club. Let's say you like, on a Friday afternoon, some beers with your mates in a beer garden, or a glass of wine with your partner when you're having your food after you put the kids to bed, whatever it may be. Okay. That serves a purpose to you as well. You know, you get an endorphin release from it, you get a stress release from it. It's a nice thing for you to do socially. You bond with friends, you bond with your partner in that time. You're going to take all of that out only to reinduce it at a later stage when your body is tuned into like a completely different nutritional values. Maybe you've gone keto, and you just rebound. You will 100% rebound. So it's finding a system that allows you to operate with restriction in terms of the things that you believe are your kryptonite. Again, whether it's chocolate, sweets, alcohol. So you have a reward system. If you get all the way through to Friday and you've hit all of the metrics you needed to hit, you've exercised, done what you needed to do, and eaten the right things nutritionally, you've made smart choices all week. When you get to Friday, have a beer or 2 beers. Have a glass of wine. But it's about understanding and having the discipline internally to have 1 or 2 and not go on to 5 or 10. Same with chocolate. Have a line of chocolate or a bar of chocolate. Not the whole box. Not a whole big, 500 gram dairy milk bar. Restriction. Living that way, and living is the key word here, that's a lifestyle that you can scale over the next 2, 5, 10, 15, 20 years. That is how you're going to achieve health longevity. Rather than saying, I'm not drinking for 3 months, I'm not touching chocolate for 3 months or 6 months or 12 months, whatever it may be. You may reach your goal, but at the end of that, what are you going to do? What's the plan after the plan? You're going to start to reintroduce it. As soon as you start easing yourself back in and relaxing, the old habits, the bad habits start creeping in, and you will be back to square one, hence the yo-yo cycle. So it's about systemizing the first step, systemizing the approach so you can ease yourself in. You've got a structure that fits around your lifestyle that covers both training and nutrition that eases you in, dials that back the nutrition as we go, increases the training as we go. 2, goal. Write down your goal, get extremely granular with it, understand the why, write it down, screenshot it, set it as your phone lock screensaver. 3, flexibility. Restriction is better than abstinence. Have a reward system built in that rewards you for good choices, good habits throughout the week. That will help you stay disciplined, but also help you understand and build the lifestyle that is going to serve as a safety net system that will catch you forever. Do those 3 things, you will break the yo-yo cycle. Hopefully you found that valuable. I thank you so much for watching.